Well, hello there, this is Rab. I'm actually right here at Monimail Orchard. That's the tower there. That's the way into the orchard. The last day of February 2017. So I'm actually trying to get the last of the winter pruning done here. This is one that's already been done. This is Adam's pearmain. Just took some of the leaders back and see it's actually spurred up nicely. Big old Bramley there. There's actually a lot of dead wood on it, so probably get half of that hacked off today, hopefully. This is the one I'm going to be doing most of the work on. This is Discovery. You can see it's a tip and spur bearer. See, it's a tip and spur bearer there, so I'll leave these wee ones and I'll take the long ones off. Yeah, I'll take them back by half. So this is what I'm going to be working on today. So I'll see you all in a bit, eh? Thanks. Well, this is Rab. That's a Discovery tree there after I've done it. You see big long leaders here. I've came back with a half. Because Discovery variety there is a tip and spur bearer. So I've only actually took the leaders back a wee bit and left the wee side laterals. That's going to be the fruit bearers. So I managed to conserve the wheaten shape there. So it's looking a lot better now. We actually had to cut a lot of canker off it. Actually, not just canker, a wee bit of coral spot as well. If you see that, just take that right off. Notice the wee orange dots. Just hack that right off there. Actually had to take the whole branch off. Nuggets, I had it spread right down and there was canker below it. So that's most of the prunings there off it. I had to take a few large branches off. But it's looking a lot better now. So we'll just see how she performs this year. And I'm going to see you in a wee bit, okay? I'm actually going to do one along just along the orchard a wee bit there. Ribston Pippin, I'm going to do that one. This is Adam's pearmain. Notice how I've tied the branch down. So when you tie your branches down, that encourages them to spur right along the branch. That's the plum trees I done last year, remember? Well, they've actually responded well. This was one I done in January. This is a russet one. This one bears heavy, but it throws a lot of growth up. So I have to take most of that off. So you can see the lovely shape it is. A nice weeper. This one's a very vigorous grower, this one. I'll probably might have to do a summer prune on this. Right, because see where you see the wheaten shape? Right, the long branches there were actually 4 to 4.5 feet long. So I'm probably going to have to do a summer prune on this one. You see, it's a beautiful day. I mean, you know, this wall, I wouldn't mind getting this wall back into use again. Maybe have a word with him and Andy and see what they think. Maybe for the next project for Monimail. But yeah, they've got a lovely day, and just lovely to hear the birds and that about. And I'm just here myself now, but that's the way I like it, eh? I just love it here. So let's be going back along. And incidentally, my apricot tree is in full flower. It's in full bloom. So I'll show you that once I finish my Monimail. Okay, as you can see, it's a lovely day. So now is the time to get the last of the winter done, you know, the pruning, to get it all done, because they should be they'll be stirring in the life just shortly for this year's crop, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Hi, it's Rab here. Well, it's been done an hour one. See, I've looked it right back a bit. This one's a tip and spur bearer again, I think, this one. So I'm actually going to cut a wee bit of canker off here. I'll just show you in a minute, okay? And here it is. That's the canker. So I'm going to slice all that off. Just make sure it doesn't girdle the branch. So it's a good branch and it obviously bears a lot of fruit, so okay, I'm going to start paring this off. That's it. Once I cut the canker out, so I've just nicked that wee bit off in the middle and paint it with air bricks. This is actually the only bit of canker I've seen in this tree anyway, so it seems to be very clean. I'm having to prop it up because it tends to be lopsided. See, they've got a branch propping up there. But yeah, it's looking good. I've only got a couple more to do, and that'll be me finished up for the day. Okay. Well, I'm actually having to go away now. That's 4:30, but that's that one's half done, so I've just left the wheelbarrow here with the prunings on it. So I know which one to come back to. Hopefully I'll be back here next week sometime. Get it all done. So I'm actually just doing it myself here now. That's got a lot of bother, maybe try to get volunteers to come here. Yeah, because it's pretty well out the way, this place. But never mind. You just keep plodding on, Well, Rab. Well, hi, this is Rob here. This is the famous Buckhaven apricot tree. As you can see, it's in full bloom. There's the last day in February. Look at that. Lovely flowers. So I'm just hoping the bees has been out foraging today. That's me just actually back for Monimail. I've actually got quite a lot of flowers on it. It seems to be really heavy bearing. Down to this end there. There's a couple of rootstocks for last year. I might graft on these actually. This one here's one of the grafts I did last year. It's actually still in the pot yet. But there's a bud. That's a bud that I did in August. So here, wait and see what happens in the summertime here. That's a bud I put on last August. So I'm just waiting on that swelling. So that's Arthur Turner and Scrumptious. Arthur Turner's the main graft. There's a couple of grafts I did last week. I did 2 Bramley. Yeah, 2 Bramley, and I done a double one there. That's Red Devil and Charles Ross. And I've done 3 bloody ploughmans. 3 bloody ploughmans, 2 Bramley, 1 dual one there. Red Devil and Charles Ross in that one. So, just wait and see. These are all on M9, the rootstock M9. So I'm just waiting on the rest of my rootstocks arriving next week. There's M9 and 27. So there you go. Look for it to get going. I'll see you in a bit. Yes, my pear trees, you can see the buds are starting to swell now, see? My pear trees. Right along. This one's a plum. They're all shown now. That's all the plum buds on the move now. To wait and see what happens. Hopefully I'll get a good crop. That's plum opal, this one. Big strong ground one. They're all on Pixie. This is Victoria, this one. That's the pears there. That's the grapevine here. I done that last November. That goes right round there, right round the wall, then up the side of my door, right round my door and down. It's my grapevine here. So it's had a good dose of winter weather, so it should help it. This is my apple tree, Bramley. Did a wee bit of pruning to it, but not a lot. Not a lot. What I pruned off I'm actually going to keep for grafting. That's the rest of my apples. That's my russet one. That's been well pruned, that one. See, it's all just mostly spurs now, see? Hardly any growth in it. This one here is one I grafted in 2015. It's got 3 varieties on this one, 3. So I've moved it. This is its permanent home here. See how I've got it staked up? You have to keep them staked for a couple of years. This is apple scrumptious. This is a tip and a spur bearer. There's my Bramley for the other side. That's a big strong tree it is, I put fertiliser in a couple of weeks ago. So the roots should actually be taking it in now. No belong to blossom time now. Hope the weather holds now in March and April. We'll get some nice weather now. March, April and May for blossom. Here, last look at the apricot. So if any of you guys is thinking of putting one in, you should plant it, an apricot. Make sure it's on the south to southwest facing. This variety is Gold Cut. It's cropped the past 3 years, so it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke, it's obviously hardy enough for Scotland. There you go. Gold Cut. Hello there, it's Rab again. This time I'm actually at the growing space in Buckhaven. You can see we've actually finished the winter pruning. That's the step over apple trees here. You can see they're still dormant yet, but they should be wakening up just very, very soon. There's 4 here. There's 4 step overs here, so we're actually going to be putting more in. Lining the edges of the beds with them. This is your workman hut there, and it's a honeysuckle. It's an evergreen, this one. Lovely flowers in it, by the way. It's a variety called Helenia. Honeysuckle, Helenia. Japanese honeysuckle. White and yellow flowers round about May, June and July. And the smell to die for. So there you go, that's the polytunnel there. And we've actually been meeting facilities for disabled people. These raised beds were just actually built there over the past few weeks there. With Ronnie, one of your volunteers there. There's two of them. The one's still to be painted yet, you can see. So, there we go. This is wee allotments here, plots that's rented out. This one belongs to Jock there, Jock Cramen. And the other ones are still to be hired out yet. What I wanted to show you today was the cordons that's just been planted. So I'm going to go up to them now. Well, here we are. That's the cordons. There's 5 apple, 5 pear. So they've been planted right along the fence. It's actually near enough west facing, but you can see them, the ends of the trees are running north to south, so they get the maximum amount of sunshine. They're still a wee bit spindly yet, but once they start bearing, and that should be fine. Cordons, they've been planted about 20 inches apart. They're on a dwarfing stock. They take a lot of the pruning in the summer. Those prune cordons in the summer. Heavy in the summer and very, very light in the winter. So there you go. This one here, this is another framework I put at the fence. This is going to get trained as an espalier. You see, it's a 1-year-old maiden whip, an apple, Newton Wonder. That's a variety, Newton Wonder. See, there's a graft, that's the rootstock there, and that's the scion, that's the graft there. So once the buds start breaking, that's when I train them, right along these wires. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers high. Me higher than 6 feet. It's going to take a lot of specialised pruning for a couple of years, but yeah, it should be okay. Let's be looking along the cordon row there. Actually, I'm going to line the bed here with step overs as well. So just to let you know how much fruit you could grow, you know, in actually such a small space. So there you go. Looking forward to that. As you can see, this is a Scottish apple. This is a Scotch dumpling. This orchard was planted back in 2012, and you can see it's well matured now. It's actually classed as a mature orchard now. That's Scotch dumpling. And this one's white Melrose. It's a border apple, the borders. That's the compost bins we use. See, looking right along the orchard, you can see they've actually been edging the beds with timber now. So it makes it easy for actually cutting the grass and trimming. Right, so all the weeds and that, they all stay there, and the beds has been heavily mulched as well. So that's to stop any weeds and that for getting through. That's the apples right along there. As we're doing at the south, looking up north. That's the cordons against that fence here. These are trees that are still to be planted. Still got a few pear here yet. And that's the ones we ordered for Deacon's nursery. They're to be trained as step overs, these ones. They're on the smallest stock, 27. Marling 27, M27. That's the rootstock of these ones, these apples there. This here's the plums. You see, it's a very, very strong grown one, that. There's plum and pears in this row. In this row here. But this is a really strong grown one. You can see it's wanting to go, so I'll probably need to take a lot off it this year. In the summer. But I've got lots of good helpers here. Notice the various shape of the trees. Here you go, there's a pyramid one. Notice it's got a central leader on it. Central leaders. That's a bush one, that's a wee bush. And this next one here, that's a half standard. And they're all different shapes and sizes here. Mind you, they're on varying rootstocks, of course, so they've got different stages of growth. Some grow faster than the others. But that's a good thing with experimenting. It's a wee bit on the cold side today, but as you can see, the volunteers and the staff, they're away having their lunch, and usually I think they finish early on a Friday anyway. Now we're coming to the plum rows here, the plums. These are all Victoria. Victoria. As you can see, that's them starting to move now. That's them on the move. Victoria. Hopefully we get some nice flowers this year and fruit again. But I'm going to be looking out for the pocket plum disease. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, they're all looking nice now. Notice they're both in the wheaten shape. That's the characteristics of Victoria. This one, you mind, I pointed this one out to you last year. When we planted them, one of the trees was mixed up. It was actually just a rootstock. So we dug it up just a few weeks ago and planted this one, and it's bliss. This is plum opal. This is plum opal. So if I ever get another space, I'll be wanting to plant an orchard full of these actually. Because they do very, very well in Scotland. They're not so disease prone as Victoria. Yeah, they're all looking good. They've all matured well. Looking really good. This one we actually had to take a branch off it last year because it was growing really, really strong. You can see with the trunk. See, it's a big strong one. They're on St Julian A rootstock. St Julian A. It must be doing alright here because the ground is actually rich here. But they're really, really doing good. Plum trees in my garden here on the rootstock. Pixie. That's Pixie I use. St Julian A is too big for my garden. But they're just fine here. Just nice, lovely, neat straight rows here. And we've actually got soft fruit in between them. Gooseberries, blackcurrants, raspberries. It's summer and autumn, raspberries. This very low last row there, that's apple. Mostly Spartan, Discovery, James Grieve. Well known apples. And most of the plums here is Victoria. Well, this is your latest purchase this year. It's actually a portaloo. A loo. Quite nice inside actually. No, because before if you were caught short, you actually had to run across to the pub. No, well, if you were a woman, but if you were a guy, you just hid behind one of the huts. So we've actually got a rain toilet now. There you go, this is a path leading right up. This used to be a public park at one time. Well, this was planted in 2012. This is a growing space, Buckhaven, run by the Clare Group. which I am vice chair. This here's photographs of the old Buckhaven back in the early 1900s. It used to be Buckhaven Harbour. That was the Buckhaven lifeboat there. That's the lifeboat that used to be based in Buckhaven. My great granddad was involved in that actually. My great granddad was a fisherman and he was a miner as well. He was a very, very religious person at one time. Most of the fishermen in Buckhaven were religious. So that's all the wee boats, the wee fifeies they were called. Yep. That's the old streets. Well, that streets actually still exists. This here was right down in Buckhaven foreshore. That's the old shore street, I think. This one. Old Buckhaven. This one as well. Yep. This is old Buckhaven Beach. Used to be beautiful beaches at one time. It's hard to believe these they actually used to get visitors for Glasgow. Used to travel through and get off at the old railway station at Buckhaven. The Buckhaven used to have beautiful, beautiful white sand at one time. We also had an outside swimming pool. That was back in the 1920s. Filled with the tide, of course, but went through filters and everything. Eh? See, there's your logo, clear. It's almost 8 years I've been a member of this group now. 8 years. And I've watched it grow from strength to strength. Eh? But I like being in the Fourth Environment Link as well. And working with various orchards, Monimail, whatever. Hello, it's Rab here. I'm back in the printer's orchard again in, the library orchard in Buckhaven. Mind this plum tree that had a lot of the disease on it last year. It seems to be okay. I took all the dead and dying tissue off it. So I think it's actually doing fine now. But what I really wanted to show you there was a canker tree. Mind remember I had the canker on it. But couldn't see it very much for the foliage. That's it there. There seems to be a wee bit forming here. So I'll probably need to get another scraping. But other than that, it seems to healed up okay. I think I've got most of it off, but I might have to do another up on this. But I'll wait and see. Anyway, I'll wait till spring. Maybe around about the month of April, that's when I'll know. Yeah, but, yes, but this is a library. This was the very first orchard that was planted. Back in 2010. 2010 this one was planted. So everything's dormant now. Pruning's all been done. So it's just a matter of waiting on the flowers again. And see what happens. I'm fair pleased with this plum tree. This one's well on the move. So you see the buds breaking? Yep. Doing really good, I think. But we'll see what happens in the summer. You can see I've left some growth that I didn't prune back last year. I'm going to leave that, because this will probably be a replacement branch. I've left one or two on it. just as replacements. So the soft fruit bushes there, black currants. That's a pear tree in the corner. I had to lop that right back. That was really reaching for the sky like. That's a commas pear, but it hasn't cropped yet. Just me standing in the orchard there, just looking there. A few of the apples the windfalls for last year. We'll just leave them for the birds to get. Yep, lovely, lovely. Hello again there. I just had to show you my favourite watering hole. It's Buckhaven Bowling Club. Established (1891). I've actually been a member here for a few years now. I just wanted to actually show you around about the gardens and the green. Let you see the green, okay? Here we are. Well, this is the green, so actually in a few weeks it should be opening. Less than 6 weeks I think they'll be having the opening of the green. Nice gardens right along here, roses and stuff like that. I think the gardens is maintained by a few of the committee men. But yep, this place is a hive of activity in the summer like. There you go, that was a new extension that was just put on just back in the 90s there. That's the main way in. Don't think it's opening now like. But it's open in the morning for social nights, bingo and dancing. This is the Buckhaven Bowling Club. There's a lot of history attached to this place. Right in the middle of Buckhaven here. Yep, there you go. It's a rose bed right up there. It's maybe on the cold side today actually. Well, hello everybody, so I hope you enjoy this DVD which I've done with Monimail, my own place in the growing space in Buckhaven and here and there. What I would like to ask for is, Monimail's up near Latham in Fife. It's actually the Tower project. The Tower is medieval, but the orchard and the gardens, they were built in the 1800s, and it's really a magical orchard. They've actually got a few residents living up there. There's Emma and there's Andy. They do a wee bit of work in there, quite a lot of work. And also there's Anne as well, but she doesn't live there. She lives no far from there. Now I try and get up and do as much as I can. Me and my friend of mine, Tony Carter for Buckhaven here. But what I would like there is maybe a few more locals for round about the Fife area. Maybe come up and lend a wee hand on the volunteers days. We're actually really needing helpers up there, because there is a lot needing into it, and there's only so much that the wee drop of volunteers are able to do. We've actually got a lot of volunteers going up, but we could do with some more that maybe knows sort of specialised work like joinery and stuff like that, and just sort of building things, because there is a lot of buildings round about Monimail that's needing a wee bit of work actually done to them. And it'd be great if you just could maybe just nip up and have a look and see what you think, and might say to yourselves, you know, oh, I'd like to get involved with here. Now, it's more than a year I've been going up to Monimail, and I just fell in love with the place. But if you're interested, is go online to the Monimail Tower project and leave a message with Emma Chapman. There's Emma. She's actually Queen Bee, that's what I call her. Yeah, she has her beehives up there. And there's Andy. I forget his second name. He does a lot of the heavy donkey work round about the place. And they're dedicated. But it'd be nice to get a hand. So I'm actually appealing for members of the public, you know, to go up and have a look. And maybe come up on the volunteers days and see just see what you think yourselves. And maybe hopefully meet a few of yous. Well, there isn't much I could say. It's just leave this message and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. My name's Rab, I'm from Buckhaven myself, and main hobbies here is actually growing fruit. Fruit growing, that's my interest. So I'd like to thank Diane for putting this online, and say hello to Christy and Catherine and the rest of the gang for Forth Valley Orchards for last year, and hopefully see you all soon. But look for Monimail online, Monimail Tower project. Speak to Emma, leave a message with Emma, and be very much appreciated. Okay, thank you.